And the action's going to start with Phil Ivey.
Pass.
There you go, all the talk and now you fold it.
Pass.
I'm going to win this.
Pass.
I bet you I win this hand. No flop. Nah, Howard's going to take me on.
Sure.
Well, it looks like Howard's going to bring this one in with ace-king.
What is that, 800?
It's 1800.
I'm expecting quite a lot of verbal between both Tony G and the mouth, Mr. Mike Matusow.
I'm probably going to move all in, but I might just call. I just call. This is fun. Wow.
So it's ace-king versus jack-9 for the first hand. Tony G defending him.
Yeah, nice gap suited connect there to defend the blind with.
Yeah, it's not a bad hand to call a small raise with.
I check.
Well, it's an interesting flop for Tony G there. He's open-ended. He's got backdoor spades as well.
Yeah, and Howard there with no pair at the moment. He did raise it up before the flop. Maybe he'll try to carry through on the flop. Or he could take his free cut card.
Or you check.
You can check.
My biggest pet peeve in poker, you idiots that take 4 hours on a hand. I mean, let's go. Let's do something.
2,600.
Yeah, the game's on.
Game on.
Game on.
Got Mikey's.
Calling people idiots already. Just tell it like it.
No help with the turn card there. Big bet from Howard and a call from Tony.
I think Howard's got ace-king.
Well, he's read him right so far.
6-9 off.
8-9. What's the best hand? 3 queens.
Fade whole time.
You better put the headphones on. I think he's checking.
I think Tony's trying to get a free card here by inducing Howard to check.
Pot's nearly $10,000 here.
Well, that's a $4,500 bet from Howard and a quick call there from Tony.
Wow.
Wow, what a big card there for Tony on the river. He's made the straight.
Flush, Howard, have you?
Now you got to be a little cautious here. Obviously, the club did come. Tony does not have the nuts here. Obviously, he can lose to a flush.
Ace-king's no good. Going to show it. Look at this. I got it. It's a good check, Howard.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, that card has to get you there.
Well, he's managed to convince Howard to check it there. I think Tony G might have cost himself some money.
Well played. Great. World-class
I'm
check.
got the heart to check it.
World-class check.
He might have had no hand, Mike.
World-class check.
He might have no hand. What's he going to bet? Ace-king. I told you he had ace-king. I bet you he had ace-king.
Well, Phil Ivey on the phone, having a quick look to see if there's anything he likes. He's reaching for some chips, so whatever it is, it's enough for him.
18 to play.
He's made it 1,800 to play.
Since we only got an hour left, let's double the stakes, man.
Oh, you want to play higher, do you, Mike?
Well, I mean, we're only playing another hour. Let's fire her up.
Cool.
Tony G likes what he sees.
Till midnight.
He's called with the ace-queen, so the action, the momentum is still with Phil Ivey.
30 now.
Why don't we gotta quit? Why don't we just keep playing? We'll give her 1,000.
Ericsson as well with his 8-7 of hearts. There are a few flops where he can get involved with Phil.
They could get rid of the. We don't need the cameras.
Oh, this is a real interesting flop here. Everybody's got a piece of it. Eric Seidel's got second pair. Tony G's got top pair. But Phil Ivey, he's got the flush draw.
Some of us got working.
Yeah, me too. I gotta catch a flight tomorrow.
6.5 to call.
Action is on Phil Ivey.
Yeah, it's been a 6,500 bet from Eric Seidel.
What time's yours?
Mine's at like 1.
He's let out, putting the pressure on these other two players.
You going back tomorrow?
All in.
You got a tournament there.
Wow, no messing from Tony G.
It's the first time I'm gonna be there.
Wow, that's incredible. Seidel bets with second pair. Ivey calls, and now Tony G has moved all in, risking all of his chips, and he's way ahead.
Everybody's out?
Everyone's out.
Take a pot.
Unsurprisingly, the other boys have passed, and Tony G pulls that pot down. He shows the queen, unsurprisingly not the ace. I think the rest of them can guess.
Queen 3 was good.
With over $1 million on the table, it's Gus Hansen to bring in the action.
And win.
Listen, you're lucky you didn't win that off Mike.
Oh, poor Mike, but I've done enough to him as it is.
Cool. 60.
600 called by both Gus Hansen and Phil Ivey.
Pass.
Paul Kemsey seems to have put on the brakes a bit after his big clash with Tony G. Tony G in with his queen 8. He obviously hasn't lost his gamble.
Any raise on the blind?
Alan Cunningham in there with Queen 10 on the button.
Yeah, you just hit a jack on the end.
Eric Seidel
You have the ace
in the small blind with King 10.
Oh, it's horrible.
So they're all gambling at this stage late in the night.
That will look terrible, Eric.
Check.
3, 4, 6. Not an awful lot there for most of them.
Phil Ivey with the best of it here with ace-3. He's got bottom pair with an ace kicker.
4-5
I'll bet it for Eric, just in case.
pass.
Tony G betting it with his Queen 8.
Pass.
Look at this. Look what you're letting me bet with now.
Oh, it's terrible.
Look at this.
Isn't it? Huh?
And Tony G,
I've got
he's
it-
one of
I've
those
got
players
you
that
all.
confidence
Got
really
the
kind of
whole
pushes him.
table
He
covered.
wins a couple of big
It's
pots,
sick.
and he's just going to keep going.
Look at this.
Exactly.
You
He's
see what
going to
happens?
play his rush.
Tremendous talent.
No, I'm just taking control of the game. Absolute control. They can say what they like, but I've got the money.
100, please.
Under the pump, all the way
They can say
through.
what they like. But you're the governor.
Under the pump, all the way through. And right on the end like a champion, coming
I'll
good.
take one.